Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today it's time for another Monday Novice fight. Yes, indeed, been getting quite a few submissions for this one, as I seemingly always do. Some of them, well, you know, perhaps not as exciting. Those usually came down to the simple fact that either player or usually both players are much too passive. In some cases, just going for a lot of machine gun emplacements and then sort of really moving beyond that. So of course, as usual, Ramathulian rule of thumb, there we go. You know, get some infantry, get fighting, don't just dig in particular when you have less than half the map. Bit of a mistake there, so of course keep that in mind. Little important and free lesson right there. No, we are going to have a bit one here. Today it's going to be a bit different in some sense. It's only going to be something I'm certainly seeing with some of the newer players. In terms of strategy, not entirely sure what to think of that. Of course, we might be discussing what some players can do to sort of defeat it. Both players in this case are level 10, though some mistakes are made, so I feel I can get away with this one. Plus, it's a bit more, you know, exciting, perhaps, you know, it gets a bit close to the end, I think. So, of course, who shall be fighting? Right here we are seeing Sanguinius9. Could be he might be going for Sanguinus, but there's only one eye in that, not two. That gets you Sanguinius, which sounds more like some cheap pasta product knockoff. But nonetheless, here he is, Sanguinius, fighting for the 29th Infantry Division. Opposing him shall be 145th Panzer. Not sure if that's division, battalion, brigade, or whatever. But here he is, fighting for the Wehrmacht with his pioneers. Division, well, let's just say this is the 2nd Panzer Division. Hurrah! And in fact, let's get right down to it. Let's see if we actually get some panzers. Bags going up here for Sanguinius. Engineers are on the way. Wehrmacht quarters going up here. Further pioneers on the way. I mean, so far nothing, you know, highly unusual. And of course, I mean, you know, bunch of other things I could have mentioned, but again, you know, sort of the primary point, you know, be aggressive, don't just sit about for half the time, certainly don't begin digging in when you have less than half of the map. That was only one of the problematic issues I saw right there, and some of the things I had to throw away, and of course, well, not throw away, but certainly I decided not to cast, and some, you know, were quite much like this, but again, I sort of decided this one might be the more interesting to watch, and again, that's also something I sort of have to balance, you know. Is it interesting to watch? Because if it's not, you know, you're not probably going to be bothering to listen to the entire way through. At least some of you might not. Others might be going, oh, more Dane. Anyways, spreading out here. Usually good thing. Wehrmacht sticking to one side of the map so far. You know, pioneers sort of hanging about here. That's not the bad idea, certainly. Good thing for you novices to note that. Volksgrenadiers on the way.
Volksgrenadiers ready.
Not ready. All that indeed. Rifleman also getting ready. Now he is slowly spreading out. He's going for the munitions. He's not going for the fuel point though, up there. And in fact means this munitions point won't be connected actually, so that's a bit of a miss right there. Volksgrenadiers are quickly advancing down here. No lollygagging for them. Rifleman going straight for the munitions point at the same time, of course, being the fastest cappers, at least this early in the game. Of course they can quickly do so. No, they are in fact ignoring this. Goodness gracious, we are seeing 2nd Volksgrenadier team out from the 145th Battalion, I suppose you could call that. And a bit of barbed wire here on the fence. Interesting. Although he's quickly moving on, spotting something going on here, of course, using the power of the minimap. And now, of course, moving in to deal with those nasty engineers. At the same time, the rifleman quickly moving in to harass this munitions point. And of course, again, I mean, there was no point in that, saying that, because before he could connect it to what. Could he? I know. Volksgrenadiers are ready. They are now moving in. Of course, he's leaving his Volksgrenadiers down there instead of trying to rush it up, because already here we can sort of see the beginning of an American plan. He wants to sort of harass from here, go up here, and then of course cut the point there. Very good idea, but of course, question is, of course, will the Wehrmacht player react to this in any manner? Certainly, some Volksgrenadiers being sent in to deal with this, rather than quickly taking up heavy cover. This could prove to be a bit problematic for the Volksgrenadiers if they're not careful. And pioneers are sneaking up as well. One Volksgrenadier down. Pioneers opening up on the flank of the riflemen with the MP40s. More riflemen moving in. Volksgrenadiers are still taking the fuel point. Should be moving up there to actually fight. Bit of a mismatch then, sort of understanding how Volksgrenadiers work, and certainly misinterpreting his opponent's ideas, perhaps. That's it now, of course. His men are getting quite, you know, outnumbered. Of course, now he's also going for the cutoff point right there, and of course that means all of this here will not be here. So again, I mean, he should have been doing this much earlier, you know, waited for that fuel point. Otherwise, of course, now he's going to be losing this fuel point as well. And then, of course, he could just shift about here. The American command, of course, will just take it back. Pioneers need to retreat. Rückzug, Pioniere, Rückzug. There we go, finally getting out of there. Rifleman pulling out, Volksgunners moving in. Volksgunners here still doing alright. One Rifleman down. The other Volksgunners are moving in, so he's finally stabilizing the situation a bit. But these Volksgunners now getting charged, stormed, assaulted. And they are going to be forced away. Meanwhile, the good movement, in fact, good flanking maneuver while these Volksgunners kept them occupied here. The others moved in to hit them from the side where the cover would not apply, and there we go. Doing a bit of damage to these riflemen, forcing them down to, in fact, 2 men, but now other riflemen are charging in. Volksgunners keeps firing away most heroically. Now these riflemen could be a bit of trouble. Other riflemen are not moving in to support. No, instead they're going right for the fuel point. And we're in fact seeing further Volksgunners. In fact, we're seeing a full Volksgunner start from 145th Panzer. Yes, this is something I've seen also from another chap called Hybrid Functions. His opponent reacted in a slightly less conducive manner. So I rather did not went for that because, well, it was a bit too one-sided in the long run, I think. Then again, he had some nice things, but you know, that could mostly be summed up to the fact that he was pretty good at using mines and made some sneaky maneuvers. That's about it. On the other hand, the reaction from Sanguinius9 is much more stronger, a bit more helpful in the long run, although he's not quite gotten there yet.
We are losing ground.
Seeing as he's been taking quite a beating from the Volksgunners and now quickly spreading out to take the points back, though, from the Wehrmacht. This is good. Interesting enough, no of the victory points are so far actually been taken. Now he's also pushing through here. Sanguinius is pushing onwards for Uncle Sam and the 29th. Volksgunners moving in to counter this. A bit of resources being floated here again. Do not float resources. I mean, if you're in doubt what to do, either train a unit, get some upgrades, or, you know, in this case, of course, go for the skirmish phase or something like that. Don't just, you know, float this many resources on this early. And again, this is only one of the more novice things, and one of the reasons I also chose this, because again, it's a mistake he, you know, makes a few times, in fact, much to my distress. Now we are seeing a banker going up at the same time. That's quite more interesting, although there's, of course, a slight problem at the same time. You know, his opponent could be going for the M8. Then again, he does have the Volksgunners and the munitions to sort of drop any M8s if they're a bit too uncautious. Volksgunners taking quite a bit of fire and actual fire. Heavy losses, need to retreat. Sanguinius pushing onwards. Looks like he might be getting the BAR, and that's only one of the better choices, you know, going against when the opponent has scored heavy Volksgunners. Get the BARs and begin gunning down those bastards. Now we are seeing the MG40 could also have gone for a sniper, I suppose, but you know, MG40 does well as well. No, don't run in front of the riflemen, you know, stick to cover, stick to cover. Instead, now of course he's forced to retreat them, and now the Americans all of a sudden have the advantage because he had to get a bit too aggressive. Right, we're seeing the Volksgunners holding out here with an MG40 in support, forcing away the Americans there now with BARs, of course. And the medic bunker here in this case is a bit exposed now. Thankfully, there are no flamethrowers or demo charges in this case. Finally going for a victory point in this case. Skirmish phase is on the way. Volksgunners, he's not reinforcing them. He should be doing that. They are much too wounded. Much too terrible condition. Now we are in fact seeing a flamethrower being used against the medic bunker. This could be grim. MG42 on the job though, and he's already gone for terror, so good. Move right there, going straight for a doctrinal choice. And in fact, he's ignoring that. He's going straight for the assault phase. He's going for the Sturm Armory.
We're losing territory.
Of course, having seen his opponent has gone for BAR, so of course that's probably been part of his plan. And of course, what plan? Well, you know, keep the opponent on the back foot with lots of infantry, you know, pushing back there with the early cheaper Volksgunners. Then when he goes for the BRs, and he might have been expecting this, in fact, you know, my opponent might go for BRs. Then he goes for the armored cars, which is usually what some of the more higher ranking players do. Of course, armored cars are not the solution to anything, and they're certainly not tanks, but you know, it's only one method of doing things. Rather than going in here, and he's certainly pressuring on the American chap, really taking away a lot of territory from our friend 145th. Mine's going down there, that is good. Rifleman pushing on, another attempt at mining here, but right in front of the enemy. That's less good. MG42 sitting up, and where the Volkswagen is. Again, he seems not to, be reacting to the actual threat, but sort of moving on in his own plans. That can be a bit problematic, a bit bad. Stormer is ready, though. MG42 opening up with the Rifleman right there, trying to go for the point, but of course at the same time he left the flank open again. He does not have anything to cover it. In fact, again, bit of a mismanage there right of his infantry. Again, that's something you have to be very careful about, prioritize what you want to do. In this case, of course, fight the bloody enemy. I mean, I know he wants to get some territory back, and of course, now the Americans are fueled, but at the same time, it might be a sort of idea to actually focus on the enemy first, then you come in and taking points again. Cover. And again, they could have been flanking, of course. Now they are sort of moving towards it. And once Rifleman in fact pulls out, Storm Armory almost up. Again, he seems to have a bit of problem, establishing a cohesive line against the American opponent, which is certainly causing a bit of problems. Volkswagen catches on fire. Will these engineers make it out alive? Or will they be executed Wehrmacht style? Apparently that. Supply yard is now up. Could be hoping to deal with some of all those, of course, upkeep from all these riflemen, which is good to note. Oh, it looks like he... No, wait a minute, they're over there. Most of the victory points are currently in the American hands. Troops of the 2nd Panzer Division push onwards. In fact, he's going straight for a Nebelwerfer. This is slightly more peculiar. You don't really see a lot of players going straight for the Nebelwerfer as the first unit. I mean, it's not something I would directly say that's a very, very bad idea, but it does make me wonder a bit, And these folks guys need to get out of there. There we go. Quickly pulling out. There might be an idea for these chaps to sort of, pull into cover before the American horde advances. And of course, get some other troops into support. Now they're getting hit from all sides again. Not in cover. Volkswagen is laying down some sandbags there behind the barbed wire. MG42 sending up to cover. Volkswagen is running, scared possibly. Even these Volkswagens again standing about. Keep them moving in. Attack. Bottle up. Nebelwerfer ready. And a Pioneer team is lost. Medic is getting gunned down. This is looking not quite as grand. Volkswagens could take up position in this building to provide a bit of flank cover. Riflemen flanking in there on the west as well. And we are seeing grenades. These Volkswagens need to get out. Of course, the first grenade can be very powerful because that's the one your opponent don't ever expect. And there we go. Oh dear. A Volkswagen team is down for 145th Panzer. This is looking rather grim. Of course, he is forced away. And he's only now firing the Nebelwerfer. Or Nebelwerfer. And there we go. Armored car on the way, but at the same time, lots of infantry. No attempt at veterancy either for his infantry, not even the little veterancy 1. Or veterancy 2 for that matter. Nothing so far yet out of that medic bunker either. It's so far not been quite lucky in finding any wounded because the medics get shot up constantly, and that's only one way to sort of ensure that no grenadiers pop out of that. Volkswagen is opening up on the Rifleman sneaking in from the flank as well. And of course getting a bit of efficiency due to all those Volkswagens getting gunned down. Now we in fact seeing artillery going in on the bunker. Rifleman though taking some losses in the midst of this. And hitting a mine on the retreat. Oh dear, oh dear. In fact, he's gone for 5 Rifleman teams. Although at the same time, most of them are a bit wounded, so he's probably not suffering so much. Currently on upkeep. Now getting an armored car, and currently, of course, that's a bit of a problem for 145th Panzer. Again, he hasn't been prepared for this. He probably ought to have, why? Might some of you ask, because again, his opponent's been holding most of the map for most of the time, thus also meaning most of the fuel, and then it's not that unusual to see your opponent go for something like, say, an armored car or a Panzer, like a Sherman, in this case, of course, a tank. There you go.
Germans are seizing territory.
Trying to move on once more. Has to be a bit careful with that armored car, though. M8 armored skirted, all that. Rather than going straight for the Volkswagen. Volkswagen do not stop up. They do not stop taking the point. Be careful with that. And looks like some were killed. Riflemen just keep turning away at the Volkswagen and grenade getting locked. These Volkswagen need to retreat.
Enemy unit down.
Oh dear, another Volkswagen team was lost for 145th Panzer. Mistake there, quite a big mistake, and now of course the armored car is going to be quite the nuisance. Panzerfaust on the M8 doesn't do much damage actually. Nebelwerfer trying to hit a bit here, forcing away some riflemen, but again not quite able to get the swift resolution that was hoped in defeating the Yankees. This armored car is in quite a bit of trouble, needs to get away. Far away. And riflemen right here on the eastern flank, getting under quite a bit of fire. More M8s now ready. Another armored car moving forward. He's still lacking in anti-tank assets. Where's the Stug? Oh dear, this armored car is going to be lost, isn't it? Of course, he might be getting the Puma upgrade. But this is not looking good. He might consider getting that MG out there. And there we go. Puma upgrade. That's going to help a bit against those M8s. Volkswagen with Panzerfaust hopefully also moving in. At Puma, damaged engine. Armored car getting repaired. And there we go. Panzerfaust. And the M8 goes down. Another down to the armored car as it blasts through, but the Puma is lost. Might be seeing more Panzerfausts. There we go. And another Panzerfaust, and the second M8 is down. Of course, do not underestimate the Panzerfaust. It can be quite useful in conditions like these. And of course, now there's a lot of munitions to be salvaged, of course, thus meaning those can be quickly recuperated. But of course, he needs some infantry, needs to push on, he needs to take some territory back, and he certainly does not need to sit back. And of course, also get salvaging, so get some more pioneers. Good move there. Our American opponent, of course, is a bit miffed, who's now getting sticky bombs to deal with those armored cars, but still, you know, a bit of loss there. He does still have the superiority in infantry. He still has the 5 rifleman team, whereas the 145th Panzer only has 2 Volksgrenadier teams. That's not really going to end up well for him, even with the Nebelwerfer and that damaged armored car. And of course, the MG42 somewhere. There we go. Volksgrenadier is getting hunted down on all points.
Troops can now make sticky bombs.
Armored car moving in to protect the eastern flank. Riflemen getting ready to attack from the western point. Volksgrenadier sending up there, but they're quickly getting outgunned. MG needs to retreat. Oh dear, grenade! Oh dear, granate! And the MG42 is lost for all time. Be careful with things like that. And these Volksgrenadiers also need to retreat again. 145th Panzer really seems to be committing his troops in terrible manners, losing them when he should be preserving them. And again, not getting any replacements. This is really looking grim from his 145th. Nebelwerfer sitting the rifleman right there. Armored car dashing in. And the Nebelwerfer gets cleared out with a grenade. Oh dear. And some pioneers get cut down as well. Nothing at all seems to be going on in his base. He's not even training units. He's floating resources. 145th. Do not float resources. Damn it. Anti-tank gun ready. Interesting enough, there's been no attempt at even getting a single supply and upgrade. That could have been nice, helpful. Still, another bunker going up for 140th Panzer, though a bit too close to the enemy front line. Cancel that. It's a bit too exposed. Come on, 145th. Knock that off. No, you're losing your pioneers, mate. They're in negative cover and building something.
Enemy unit down.
Oh, come on. Again, you know, be mindful of these things. Don't waste troops like that. And again, this would be a reason why I rated this as a novice game a bit, you know. Now getting a Geschützwagen, it's not really a lot of armor his opponent has. So, of course, the Geschützwagen is going to be a bit limited in usefulness, of course, until he can get the upgrade with the MG, perhaps, you know, Veteran 2, but still, he doesn't even have the Kampfkraft Center. Now we are, in fact, seeing Rangers getting forwards. Volkswagen is attacking these poor riflemen. Well, more the poor Volkswagen is attacking the riflemen with the BARs. One down, gun down right in the middle of the road. Armour car charges for that rifleman. Pioneers moving up forwards. Armour car under fire, needs to retreat. Other Volkswagen team could move up to support, you know. Armour car almost down, I fear. And we are seeing an inspired assault at these riflemen, gunning down quite a few. Oh dear, these riflemen could be lost. No, they dodge in the wrong way. In fact, taking some losses about the riflemen. No, the riflemen in fact cut down by the inspired assault. Volksgrenadiers. Good move there. Certainly nice usage of the inspired assault. Can certainly get a lot more out of your infantry. Armored car just barely there. Now we're going to the Kampfkraft center. And yes, just checking if he's not flooding too many resources. That would be depressing. Getting something else out of the Wehrmacht quarters. Armored cars needs to be immediately repaired. Going in here perhaps to delay the loss of manpower. In fact, he's training for more Volksgrenadiers. I suppose that's the best you can do. More Volksgrenadiers. So up to 4 Volksgrenadier teams again. He could have gone for an armored car. He could have gone for trying another medic rank. But still, you know, if it works, it works. So let's see if it actually works. You know, that's sometimes all the thing you have to do in company views. You know, try something. Just, you know, just try something. Of course, in this case, of course, he doesn't have alternatives. He can't get Grenadiers. He can't get Knights Cross. You know, in this case, fair enough. Attila getting called in the Volksgrenadiers. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Sandbags apparently serving as target practice. Volksgrenadiers with MP40 clumping up. Oh dear. I mean, when your opponent has grenades, do not clump up your infantry. That ought to be clear at this stage of the fight. Please. Still, he's not giving up. I suppose you have to give him that. He's got tenacity, this 145th Panzer. He's certainly fighting with terror in his backbone. And we are seeing another bunker going up for 145th Panzer. I think this might have been a bug. Sometimes you just get units firing at something for no apparent reason. In this case, firing at the sandbags. And in fact, he's now, you know, not attacking through the center. You're perhaps deciding this is a bit dangerous, and of course that's not a bad idea. So instead he's sort of moving up through the western flank, keeping that supported with an armored car. Veterans a bit for the Volksgrenadiers. He could also move in the Geschützwagen to provide some anti-tank assets, but no, at the same time he's also pushing through here with his Volksgrenadiers. Wonder how this will work, but of course he's possibly hoping to spread out the defenses of his opponent. Now there's another anti-tank on the way, and Volksgrenadiers once more charging at the Rangers. Rangers not upgraded with, but they still have the grenades, and once more he makes the exact same mistake. You know, Mr. 145th.
Enemy unit down.
One usually tries to learn from one's mistakes in the same game a bit. At the same time, these folks seem to have been forgotten. He could be pushing on. Wait, there we go. Just as I'm talking about it, it happens. Medic bunker is up. Geschützwagen fires away. Probably been sent in from the 21st Panzer Division somehow, or possibly on the Lend as they come over on the British sector. I suppose to the second that could happen.
Being taken by the enemy.
Slowly advancing here, going for these points, doing a bit of harassment. Yes. That could work while he has another force sort of pinned down, or we'll keep them tied up here in the center.
Artillery support is now
daring strategy, I suppose, but let's pause the game, mid-game analysis. What is the situation? Well, it's pretty rubbish for the 145th Panzer chap of the 2nd Panzer Division with support from the 21st Panzer Division. Quite a mix there. On the other hand, the 29th Infantry Division is doing pretty alright, attacking on a lot of flanks, though he is getting a lot of units and he's not getting the supplied upgrades nor a medic station, which could probably actually help him. He is, though, mining up a bit. That's what we like to see. Preparing for the inevitable counterattack. Trouble is, of course, he wasn't prepared for Mr. 145th Panzer shifting, and of course that's really causing a bit of problems. But Mr. 145th needs more veterancy. This is good. He needs something to push on, perhaps an actual Panzer, perhaps a Nibelwerfer. And he of course needs to stop getting his troops killed by grenades and silly manners like that. But let's return to this fight. Rather moving in here, coming into the range of the armored car. He might also consider getting some veterancy for his Geschützwagen, thus making it harder damage, of course giving it the MG right there in a functional manner. Riflemen charging in, anti-tank guns sneaking again from the south with more riflemen. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat! Retreat, you are aware that this is going on, you know, retreat the Volksgrenadiers before they're lost. Oh dear. And there we go, Volksgrenadiers utterly lost. Sticky bombs on the armored car. These Volksgrenadiers need to get away as well. At least save something from this disaster. And fighting here in the east as well. Once more losing troops, not really coordinating on the riflemen, just taking points in front of them again. Do not do that. Be very careful with such things. Again, he's just losing units unnecessarily. And these Volksgrenadiers just holding up desperately against all hope. Veterancy 2 now. For Volksgrenadiers, that gives a bit of increased line of sight actually for some reason. So they can actually see a bit farther. Just, to illustrate. That's actually quite a bit. So they can be a bit of reconnaissance troops right there, I suppose. And of course they also get a bit of suppression resistance. And they also get a bit of damage resistance with only a bit.
The enemy advances.
But still, they could use as reconnaissance troops at Veterancy 2, I suppose. I mean, it is quite a bit, And technically you could run up here and peek into the enemy base, but still, just a quick note. And Veterancy 3 makes them tougher, so of course that's nice. Armored car getting repaired. 18 kills, that's certainly quite nice. And of course one armored car dead as well. Advancing through the center, which is now quite open again due to the fact, again, his opponent was now forced to sort of spread out to there. And the anti-tank gun is in a bit of trouble. Flamethrowers rushing into the midst of everything. Could be following up with a Geschützwagen to sort of secure the center, but mine hits. Oh no. Nebelwerfer has actually not been seized by the American commander. What luck. Quickly grab that 145th. That would be a nice idea. Alex pulling in the wounded. Volksgrenadiers going to march up, secure. Advance the line a bit here. Don't hang back. There we go, the Geschützwagen firing away, engineers advancing up. Again, they don't really seem to be noticing that Nebelwerfer lying in the middle of everything. Which I would say is a bit of a shame. Volksgrenadiers, take cover behind that wreck. No, more Rangers now with Thompson submachine guns. That's... Oh, don't run into them! That's a bad idea. Again, floating resources, do not do that. Please. Bazooka rockets hitting the armored car. And Rangers charging at the Volksgrenadiers. What will he do? He goes for the inspired assault. Tearing up the Rangers up close. It looks like, yes indeed, the Rangers are in fact taking quite a bit of damage to the inspired assault Volksgrenadiers with seal, of course, with fanatism, I mean. And there we go. Pretty much on their own, annihilating an entire Ranger team, although that was certainly a bit of luck. But still, fanatism and inspired seal up there. And then the armored car finishing off the Rangers until we're getting called in. Oh dear, into this sort of thing. Either go forwards, but back, but don't stand still. And there we go, either way. Rangers getting charged by the Volksgrenadiers. And Rangers are in fact forced away. Nebelwerfer in the middle of everything. Will he notice it? Will he notice? Oh right, we're standing next to a Nebelwerfer. Shall we take it? What Nebelwerfer are you talking about, Kurt? And when Grenadiers are ready, a bit more solid infantry from the 2nd Panzer Division, or perhaps the 21st, who knows. Volksgrenadiers going down in the open again, cover. Cover always matters. Always. Riflemen sneaking in from the back. Still no veterancy for the Geschützwagen. Volksgrenadiers finally pulling back. Grenadiers on their own here. And the center trying to secure the victory point as they are being drained out. And now retreating. Medics keep pulling in the wounded. Apparently Mr. Sanguinius is a bit preoccupied with other matters. Volksgrenadiers with MP40s moving in. Gunning down the riflemen as they try to leap their way to cover. Nebelwerfer still not secured. And the armored car gets sticky bombed once more. Though it has 20... My goodness, that sticky bomb did quite a bit of damage. Now rifleman going in with the final sticky bomb. The end bomb. No, the engine is destroyed. More Volksgrenadiers moving in. Opening up on the riflemen, standing out in the open, gunning them down. And of course the armored car just keeps on killing. This is the armored car of doom, of death and glory. It just keeps slaughtering the armies. Of this rifleman team certainly has had its quite fine share of Krauts killed. And the Volksgrenadiers right into it. Don't charge into automatic weapons. Oh dear. And a Volksgrenadier team dies. Another Grenadier team is reformed, though at the same time. Grenadiers charging right into the midst of everything. But no support, and still the Nebelwerfer has not been recruited. Come on, push. Damn you. Anti-tank gun gets cleared up. He could send in the armored car. He could even send in the Geschützwagen, you know, just push the advantage. And he's getting more infantry. Veterancy, still no veterancy for the armor. That could have been nice, you know. Rangers taking quite a few losses in this case now. Come on. 145th, and there we go. The armored car goes kaboom. Grenadiers holding out in heavy cover. Grenade getting lopped. 2 dies. No, actually 3 die. 1 even flies a bit. Spreading out to all angles, perhaps hoping to catch a anti-tank gun apparently, or just hoping for the fuel point. I don't know. Veterancy 3 for the infantry makes them all tougher. No attempt at armor from Sanguinius. He's not even no supplied upgrades. He's probably been spending most of his manpower at this stage just to continually reinforce all of these troops he has. And of course he's getting lower because again he doesn't have the supplied upgrades. Of course he's being slightly drained right there in terms of manpower. That's a bit of a mistake, to put it mildly. Armored car veterancy, which gives a bit of damage protection. Needs to push, and he could also get the King Tiger by now. Königstiger. Volksgeist and the Fast Riflemen charge in. And grenade it. Oh dear. 1 down. Doesn't quite seem to be aware of what's going on. Other Volksgeist being hunted down. Grenadiers charging in. Focus down the Riflemen. Still that Nebelwerfer has not been recruited. But so far looks like our American friend is simply being ground down in a war of attrition. Which it looks like he cannot win. And there we go. Now he's recruiting the Nebelwerfer. Now he is. Of course, now he needs to get it to safety, which is a completely different match. And these Riflemen are taking quite a beating from the Grenadiers. We're quite nearby, and the Nebelwerfer gets cleared out. Although this veterancy to riflery, just freshly veteran, is lost as well. Quite unfortunate. Another team. Oh dear, these Grenadiers. No, they both retreat. Goodness gracious, Hans. More Grenadiers pushing onwards. Knocking the population though to call in the Königstiger. BAR secured by the Grenadiers. Another Grenadier burns to dust. And looks like an armored car gets ready for Sanguinius. Veterancy 3 Riflemen. Oh dear, these Veterancy 3 Volksgrenadiers are quite out of their league. And a grenade getting lopped. Oh, heavy losses. Rückzug. No, they're lost. Of course, now the M8 is there. Of course, move in the Geschützwagen. Move it forwards, mate. Support your troops in the field. And slight fraction mistake, but there we go. Back to the fighting. Grenadiers pulling back. Sort of have to finish this before the servers are taken off for quite a large bit of maintenance. Of course, this is the week of maintenance almost income, with the forums and official site going down a bit for several days. And of course, the game server is also going down for about 7 hours. So quick heads up to you for those that don't know it. And the Geschützwagen finally opens up with his Pak 40 on the armored car. The Geschützwagen, the combination of a Pak 40 and the Hotchkiss light tank, originally made for the Schnellbrigade West, which was later used to form the 21st Panzer Division. Afterwards, the remnants was pulled out of North Africa, where it fought under Rommel. And that alongside the remaining veterans, of course, stretch troops were then to make the new 21st Panzer Division in Normandy. The Schusswagen does not pull up. A bit of a mistake there. Second armored car moves in. Again, floating resources. Come on, mate. And fraps. Oh. Yeah. Alrighty then. Not entirely sure why now it's getting armored cars again. I think fraps In this case, it might have something to do with the fact that I had forgotten to sort of clear out all the raw footage from the previous day's episodes. Anyways, no supply and upgrades, no medic station, a bit of a problem there for Mr. Sanguinius. And we just have those veterans who arrive from Grenadiers, veterans 2 out in the open. Has to be careful with that. Other Grenadiers nearby, again taking a point instead of assisting their comrades. Priorities, priorities. Grenadiers in a lot of problems, still no veterancy for the armor. And now grenade on the Grenadiers who are finally putting away on... No, he's moving on to take the next point of 145th Panzer. What the bloody hell are you not keeping an eye on your own troops? What are you doing? And the naval ready again. Armored cars sort of sneaking about stealthily. Well, stealthily as possible. And the Nebelwerfer once more heard firing. Rather than going straight for the Geschützwagen, even the armored cars will clear that out now. It's simply too ill-placed. Rather than getting Nebelwerft. And now getting support veterancy, but again, no veterancy for his armor. The Geschützwagen getting sticky bombed. Engine damaged. This is not looking good. Pulling away. Volkskriegs Grenadiers getting blown to bits as they're desperately trying to help the situation. More Volkskriegs Grenadiers moving out. Again, he seems to have had those Volkskriegs hanging about in his base too long. King Tiger could get called in now, so why not do it? Rifleman on the run.
We have only 50 points in reserve.
And sneaking in against as many victory points as possible. Come on, there we go. Königstiger called in. Grenadiers in a bit of trouble. Same with the Volksgrenadiers. So it might be time to go look at Sanguinius. Who's only a bit low of manpower, is now getting more riflemen. I'm not entirely sure that's what he wants. He might, you know, cope for an off-map combat group. Oh, these Grenadiers again. 145th. Keep an eye on your troops. That should also do no good at all. Don't lose troops like that. And again, you know, in some cases when you have access to the off-map combat group, bloody well use it. I mean, he could also have gone for the howitzer, but again, he didn't use it. I mean, I think that was really not really taking as much effect out of his, getting the most effect out of his doctrine as possible. He basically only went for a bit of artillery and some rangers. That was it. He definitely could have used it more, I think. Grenadiers and riflemen fighting. Advancing through the center, Geschützwagen supporting the Königstiger. Grenadiers into a bit of trouble with these riflemen. Veterans 3. 40 kills, absolute madness.
We're losing a munition sector.
And riflemen charging right at the King Tiger and the Geschützwagen. Artillery getting called in. These Grenadiers need to get away. Again, away. You're looking right at it, 145th Panzer. I know you are because you're moving that King Tiger. And that was just incredibly stupid luck. You should not be counting it. There we go, 2 Grenadiers down. He could easily have lost that entire Grenadier team. That was just terrible. Not good at all. The King Tiger can much more easily survive artillery. Your bloody Grenadiers can't, and they are of course going to be much more expensive to reinforce in the long run if you keep losing them like that. Grenades getting lopped, rifleman team lost. This is certainly not looking good either. He's bleeding now, like a stuck pig. What do you call that? Stuck. Anyways, Volkskriegs moving in. Panzer fighting the M8. M8 gone, kaput. Brewed up. Could he be going for the off-map combat group? That could be a salvation, I suppose. Still no veterancy for the Geschützwagen. A bit depressing. Nebelwerfer does have a bit of veterancy 1 to help with the reload times. Or when more specifically the cooldown times. Volksgrenadiers getting suppressed by the 50 caliber. No fun there. Riflemen getting hit with everything the 2nd Panzer Division can muster. King Tiger, Nebelwerfer. Unupgraded Geschützwagen.
We're losing a munitions point.
And more riflemen. He's just spamming out more riflemen. This is really, truly rifleman spam, and this is clearly not helping in the long run anymore. He needs something else to support those riflemen. He should have been getting an off-map combat group could have gotten him perhaps machine guns, mortars, tank destroyers, something that could actually help him in the long run. Now he's just, just throwing away manpower, wasting it. Liberally and literally.
Losing ground out there.
Tiger needs to be closer at the front. Whoops. And he still needs some veteranry for that Geschützwagen, I think. I mean, an MG would really do a lot in increasing its anti-infantry effectiveness. More Nebelwerfer fire. Volkskrieger getting charged, grenades, everything. And we hear the howling of the Nebelwerfer. Volkskrieger facing off against Reifen right here in the east. Reifen are clearly not looking too well against the Volkskrieger, yet they still somehow manage. Full retreat, mostly. Grenadiers moving in as well, down to 2 Volksgrenadiers. Reifen moving out in the open. Looks like they're hoping to grenade the Volksgrenadiers. No. Yes, no. What? Oh, wait, there we go. Volksgrenadiers almost down. And now they are in fact retreating. Still no veterancy for the Geschützwagen. Come on. Another bunker going up at this stage. And there we go. Game over. Apparently Sanguinius rather felt he has been crushed by the 2nd Panzer Division moving in. And there we go. Of course, Monday Novice fight. And of course, what the bloody hell can we learn from this? Well, in this case, keep an eye on your troops, in particular, when artillery comes in, don't let it stand there. I mean, he really needs, 145th needs to strengthen, his, grasp of how actually keep an eye on his troops. Placement of bunkers, that was really a bad mistake right there, building right in front of the enemy. And, unit preservation certainly wasn't his strength. Floating too many resources. Not quite, getting the grasp of veterans. I feel, he probably could have used it a bit better, a bit more aggressively in the longer run, but there you go, he still won in the end. But then again, that was also come down to basically Mr. Sanguinius, no supply and upgrades when he could have, no medic stations, throwing away rifling constantly when he should have been getting something else at one stage. He didn't get any fresh anti-tank guns after he lost the first ones. No attempts to use off-map combat groups, and he didn't really get any good synergy out of his doctrine. He could have called in, perhaps placed it down hard and began bombarding this base when he was so close, but then he wasted it all away. He threw it away. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this Monday Novice fight. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying, remember, here this Monday there is maintenance on the servers. Cheers.